Hello, Roberto. Welcome to our BitCast episode number 2. How are you doing?
Hey, hello, Jaspal. I'm doing well here. I'm happy to be here as well.
You are looking very energetic. Yesterday night, I was watching Rafa Nadal versus Djokovic till late night. So I had a very less sleep, but I'm very excited for this, our episode number 2. And I have a few questions from our audiences, which I would like to take today, and especially on the basis of our material that I have shared on different social media channels of DecBC. Well, there is an article also, but I would like to take your expert view. The number one question, is blockchain really hackable? What do you think about it?
Blockchain is a piece of software, like many other pieces of software may come with some vulnerabilities, right? The things that is important in a blockchain is the protocol. And the protocol has to be architected in a way that is safe. One beautiful things about the blockchain, that being a decentralized system, has redundancy, let's say, in his core. There is not one single core server that runs, but there are many. And there are different ways to deploy blockchain. The healthiest way is, once the protocol is defined well, to have several implementation of software that use the protocol, which means that there can be servers that have an application coded in C that runs part of the blockchain network. There must be servers that have the application implemented in Python, server the application implemented in other way. While all of them respect the exact same protocol, so are compatible, they are different pieces of software. So when somebody finds a vulnerability that can attack in those servers, it will not be a vulnerability that can be attacked in all the servers. If a blockchain has a single piece of software that all the nodes runs, and this software has one vulnerability, it's easy to attack all the servers in the blockchain pointing at that vulnerability. So a mature blockchain, so blockchain that went through different stages, for example, as Ethereum is, as nodes implemented in different ways, making this a very strong layer of security, because if a vulnerability is found in one of the implementation, only those nodes will be attacked, but the rest is keep maintaining the blockchain alive. And this is the first. The protocol is a logic, right, that the software has to support. If the protocol is studied in a way that has vulnerabilities, then or can be gamed to achieve a different result or desired result that are against the principle of the blockchain, then the vulnerability stands in the logic of the protocol. And this is one of the vulnerability the blockchain may have. So the protocol has to be studied, adjusted, and perfected with time, and made in such a way that there are no loophole or spaces for performing attacks. Then there are the collaterals. And this is mistakenly thought as a vulnerability of the blockchain, because if an exchange get attacked, an exchange is a centralized server, so it's not the blockchain. If a wallet is made such in a way that people can spy, people private key, the vulnerability is in the wallet. There is an application that is not decentralized. So all the collateral around the blockchain need to be secure as well, to guarantee, safe use of the system, but they're not properly the blockchain. So when these have a vulnerability or get attacked, we cannot really blame the blockchain for the attack.
Awesome. I think this is a very important point to understand, that there are vulnerabilities on exchanges, on the wallet software, but not as such, particularly with the blockchain. If the things get compromised, that is where the vulnerabilities would get introduced. Awesome. I mean, well, in our BitCast first episode, we did talk about NFT, and we tried to explain to our audiences. It goes very well. And then we have found a very thought-provoking article on our website. Today, as you know, that social media, they are a very integral part of our life, and they are somehow, they have their own power. Whether we talk about changing the minds of people during an election, or somehow affecting their thought process towards a particular brand. So they are centralizing this power. There's a very interesting piece on our website that NFT can actually help to dismantle this centralization fort which is being created by social media platforms. How you would explain that for our audiences?
To me, it's a long stretch where an NFT has this direct effect. Surely, the idea, the concept of an NFT, the fact that in a decentralized system like a blockchain, we can include a sort of archive file system that connect information with the author, with the origin, and leave a fixed audit trails. Maybe is the way to guarantee the source and the validity of information. I wouldn't go to the steps to call it them NFTs as
okay.
They will not be. Maybe for the public it's easy to understand in referring to this as NFTs because it's a use of blockchain that is outside the cryptocurrency and is a storage for information and has the guarantee to be unique, not tampered with, etc., etc. It's true that social media, once it's centralized, we don't know what happened behind the scene in terms of manipulations of who can see what, who can post what gets censored, what not gets censored, or how this take place. In a decentralized system, those rules need to be publicly available. So once there is blockchain as a system to regulate the information, while it still can be in a certain way game, because I can be a single person, I can have 1,000 accounts and be 1,000 people at the same time, but with the correct method of reputation, and system, is harder to push ahead one kind of information compared to another if the real public ask for this other rather than the first. Again, it all boils down to the protocol, how it's implemented, and if it's made in a such a way that cannot be gamed. So the difficult part in any decentralized system is the rule set. The rule set that need to be taught and implemented in such a way so that cannot be gained to achieve different result of what the initial purpose is there for.
Okay. Great, nice, awesome. So now another thing which people are talking about a lot nowadays is the proof of stake coming up in Ethereum. There are a lot of pools that are being created across the world where people can invest. I think minimum they are talking about 32 ETH to be a part of that pool and to actually be a part of the proof of stake concept with Ethereum and start mining their profits from there on. Now there is a lot of debate happening that there are many layer 2 solutions available in the market, and one of them which is very famous nowadays is Polygon, earlier known as Matic, and a lot of people are using that because of the reduced fees, scalability purposes, and all those things. Now, my one question to you is, which I also want to understand, how would you see the future of these layer 2 solutions post implementation of sharding or proof of stake in Ethereum, because that would promote the scalability for which Ethereum is looking forward to. Do you think that both the things would coexist together?
Okay, well, proof of stake is an alternative of proof of work and does not bring anything else than a different way of, so it saves people from mining and from spending money for electricity. Sharding, that's one thing that makes a little bit of a difference. Sharding is the approach of the idea that you don't need the full blockchain to validate the execution of a smart contract, but a subset of nodes can be trusted to provide a solution. And in this way, rather than having all the blockchain to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to 10, you can have a subgroup that does one set, so you can execute many more smart contracts per block. given that people trust the subset of nodes that are devoted to do that calculation. I do believe this is gonna make the system produce more, so they're gonna reduce the queue at the block, what is called mempool, where transactions are waiting to be included in a block, and consequently the fee to be included in a block is gonna go down. But this doesn't change the basic mechanics of Ethereum, which are still connected to a set of limitations. Layer 2 solutions like Polygon are good because they would not be able to exist without the layer 1, which is Ethereum, because they need the guarantee of Ethereum to support their mechanics of work. How they work is very interesting. They do transactions sort of off-chain through what is Plasma, through what is Lightning Network in case of Bitcoin layer 2 solutions. So very fast because they don't need to save and write between two ends of transactions, leaving the guarantee of the amount of money that are transacted on the layer 0. This is really a simplistic explanation, right? This also includes execution of smart contract and the result of the smart contract execution. So there is a sort of a collection of transactions can be elaborated very fast. In fact, you see blocks in 2 seconds. You see, a lot of transactions, and the fees that are super low. This is not going to go away, I believe, because unless there is a radical change in the architecture of the bottom layer in how it's working, you're still going to need the solution of sort. But I welcome them. We are using Polygon ourselves for our INO, and is in fact super convenient compared to the past experience of our previous INO that was made on Ethereum directly, and costed a fortune just to change a little bit of data were more than $120 of transaction fees, while here in Polygon is like cents of the dollars to do transaction that are identical. So for sure Sharding is going to bring a good advantage in how Ethereum works. I'm going to be curious to see it in operation, but I do believe layer 2 solutions are there to stay and keep exist.
Awesome, great. I still remember that my INO cost me $72 precisely in fees.
It is inevitable, and people that rush at the last minute because the DeFi was booming. So earlier people arrived, cheaper it was. When we set it up, it was about $10. At the end, it was about 127, something like that. Obviously, the price change. People has no control over that. That's the biggest problem. There is no a good system to manage fees, to maintain fees to a ceiling level of cost.
Yep. Well, without apart from all of these serious talks, when are you applying for the citizenship of El Salvador?
Fantastic. That's a collateral news. We do technology, we don't do cryptocurrencies, but it's been a very welcome news that I heard that El Salvador has declared Bitcoin, or is in process of declaring Bitcoin as their national currency. They don't have their own. They use US dollars, I think, and now also Bitcoin. And an interesting ripple effect of this is that other countries, I was reading, for example, Australia, they consider a valid currency any foreign currencies. So they are forced, now that there is a country that has taken Bitcoin as official currency, to consider Bitcoin a currency,
as
a foreign
currency.
So this has a very interesting effect in many other legislations. I think there are pros and cons, but exactly. I'm not a financial expert, so I will not go any further in my opinions.
No, absolutely. I mean, cryptocurrency is a different aspect of a blockchain. We at DecBC, we are dedicated towards the mission of decentralizing it to the core. That's what even the mission statement is also. Let's decentralize it. All right. Cryptocurrency is there. It will be there. How it goes. I mean, I thought like many people are thinking, oh, I have 3 Bitcoin. Now I can apply for its passport. Huh? So that's the thing. Well, anyways, last but not the least, the most important thing that our viewers want to understand and they want to know that INO pre-sale, which got started 1st of June. We have a pre-sale, we have a public sale from 1st of July, and INO, it's a new word, which is initial node offering. And we keep on saying that initial node offering is more ethical way and would also bring association with the project. Very slightly, how is it going, and why should I buy INO of DecBC right now instead of waiting for another 3 months down the line?
Sure. The system that this INO has been set is that the price increases. So early birds get the best offer, right? Before the previous one, we made prices by unit to increase. So the first 10 are cheaper, the second 10 are, etc., etc. This is actually gonna change by day. So it doesn't matter if it's purchased or not. The first day, the 1st of July, the public sales is gonna start at $999 for one node. And that increase every day, arriving to $4,999 to $5,000 at the end of the INO. Because the INO gives people an NFT for each node that they purchase, and these NFT are tradable in a market like OpenSea and others. The beautiful thing is that people can purchase, let's say, 2 nodes the 1st of July. Okay. And at this point, 1 they keep for themselves, and after 15 days, when the price is going to be $1,300, they can resell the second for a profit. So, like people that bought in pre-sale and in private sale, they had even a better advantage. But there is going to be a secondary market where people that purchase earlier can resell at a cheaper price compared to the price that is sold in the official DecBC.com website for a cheaper price. So people has the choice to go and buy a secondary market. We know the second-hand NFT are good as new because they are not ruined. The bit that compose them remains the same. And they save money, while the people that invested they're in purchasing more than one, they can make a small profit. This is pretty much the trend. People don't know and come to the official website, they're going to buy at the price that the website is going to expose to the precise day that they make the purchase.
Well, I like the sentence, the second-hand NFT is as good as the first-hand NFT. That's important. So I think it's a very good investment from a public perspective also. I mean, somebody can buy 5 nodes of NFT. And if you know that the price is going to get increased, and at one point of time, and the more I would keep those NFTs with me, and the later I sell them to the market, the more chances of me of making a higher
Absolutely.
profit. I can buy 5 at $999 and I can sell 3 or maybe 2 only when the price would be near about 4,000, and that would give me all the return on investment whatever I have done here.
Yeah, in fact, the correct method is gonna pay off itself. But
Absolutely.
We do sell the NFT as a finished object in the moment that people purchase them. NFT has 3 text fields. One beautiful thing that there is in the NFT is that the NFT are going to mimic the Genesis block of DecBC blockchain. So for each node, there is going to be an account in the Genesis block that is going to start with a high participation level from day 0, gives the possibility to run a node and collect the DecBC coin that are going to be generated. So people need to register their account in the NFT where the coins that are generated every block are sent, register the node ID, and they can have a 100 character of text, free text, to leave a message that is going to be in the Genesis block of the blockchain forever. As ZooBC has already hundreds of unique messages. We know that Satoshi Nakamoto left a message in Bitcoin blockchain.
Absolutely.
BCNext left a message in the Next blockchain, and so on and so forth. There are the possibility to be the founding pillar of the blockchain and leave your message forever written on the Genesis block of the blockchain. So it's a very, very nice plus that people can also use in the moment that they have the NFT for the DecBC Genesis block that is going to be created.
And which is the third field? You talked about 2 fields. What is the third one?
Now, the 3 fields are, the first is the account where, because DecBC work in a very interesting way. So while in Bitcoin, the new coin created every block only go to the account that created the block. Because we work with proof of participation, the new coins are distributed among all the accounts that are part of the blockchain that are registered. So all the people that have the NFT. If one server is supposed to create a block and doesn't, you get punished and lose participation score until it gets kicked out, right? So the first field is the account, the DecBC account, where people is going to receive this distribution of coin.
Okay.
The second field is the node ID. So each node is unique. There cannot be 2 nodes that are a copy one of the other. So only one ID can be combined with an IP address, which is part of the network. And the third field is this message, 100 character of space, uppercase or lowercase letters, no punctuation, where people can leave a message to the world that it remains forever written in the Genesis block of DecBC.
Okay, one more question from a normal user perspective. I come and I buy your NFT. Would you help me to set up my node? Would you help me to, buy all those things for my node so that it would be set up? And I'm assured that yes, when the proof of participation would kick in, I would start receiving my coins, and my participation score would also be maintained at a respectable limit so that I would be part of this mining. Would you help?
Absolutely. We do this also. We did this with ZooBC. We can run and set up the server. There are all the tutorials to do it by yourself as well. And we are preparing to sell also, or let people do by themselves, taking a Raspberry Pi and making a node to run a home into a Raspberry Pi so that you physically have the node with you at home, and you see it working. I had one here. I wanted to show. I don't know where to put it now, but is nonetheless an interesting item to have.
Absolutely, and there are a few very interesting videos as a tutorials that you have prepared on this. I would also share the link of those tutorials in the description of this video. If you really want to see how to create your account, to register, and this very important tutorial on Raspberry Pi.
ZooBC, but ZooBC is the base for DecBC. So
base for the DecBC. So it is the same, I know. And for Raspberry Pi, how to set it up, it's a very interesting tutorial. Must watch for anyone who would like to learn this. It's in a series of 3 tutorials, and you need to watch all 3 together, and you would understand everything. So very, very informative session with you, Roberto. Very interesting. And especially around this INO, people would have questions about how to buy, when to buy. So you have made it very, very clear that it is important for you to buy as early as possible, and you can make even a profit as well. And you would do help to set up the node as well. So that's very, very collaborative from your side. Well, that's here. It brings the end to our episode number 2 for our BitCast and under the DecBC. And we would be coming up next week again with our episode number 3 with some more interesting questions from our audiences. And we would like
somebody has a specific question, can just pose it in the comments of the video, and we're gonna look to answer it in the next video.
Absolutely. I would put that message for the audiences to please put down their messages, their questions, and we would take it up as a part of BitCast 3. Thank you, Roberto. Thanks a lot for your time. See you again. Thank you, audiences. Thanks for watching it. Please do subscribe us, do share us our videos. That is the motivation for us to make more interesting videos for you. And please leave your questions. We are here to answer it. Thank you.
Thank you, Jaspal.